hello folks. Hope you can hear me. This is just a quick one. I've got just moving the bike. It's that time again. Although I'm going the long route. I'm not in a great hurry, so I'm going the long route via town now, just to give me a little blast before I go. Probably 20-30 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, if this GoPro battery lasts long enough to do the whole trip. But I am trying something else. So I've got the Cardo Bluetooth to the 360. I didn't know you could do that until the other day. So it's now connected to the 360 out front there, so we will see if it's picking up the audio alright or not. See, because if it works good, then I may. I've got a Insta360 1R as well, and then the new, if it works good, then I may change my setup a little and just go Bluetooth audio to the Instas. And then I've been looking at buying a new camera. I was looking at the DJI, as I mentioned I think in another video, but if this works well, then I may get the Insta360 1RS, yeah, the latest, the newer Insta360 one, not the 360 camera, but the 1RS with a better sensor and module and all that good stuff. So, but we'll just have to wait and see if this works any good or not. If it's any better than the GoPro audio, or if it's just as bad. So yeah, like I say, I'm shifting the bike. It's time to go back to work, but I'm going the long route. The wife's busy, so she said she'd be about an hour or so before she can come and pick me up. So I was like, right, I'll shift it now, but I'll go the long way as opposed to just going the direct route. Yeah, a wee blast before I go. So this will just be a quick video for you guys to put up this week. Nice easy one to put up while I start trawling through all the footage from our 5-day trip. I've been through the bulk of it. All the helmet cam stuff seems good. I did, surprisingly, have a couple of 360 files from the 360 camera there. A couple of them were corrupted, which yeah, that's the first. So I don't know if it's I've never had any issues at all with the Insta360 camera, and I've had that a couple of years now. Never had a problem with it. It's always worked flawless. But yeah, a couple of corrupted files. I tried to put them through that a file repair, and it repaired them, but not in 360. So I don't know. So I can't do the 360 thing with them. You know, where I can position the camera anywhere I want. It's not giving me that sort of file, even though it's, so I don't know. I tried putting it back in the camera and playing with it in the camera to see, you know, sometimes when you put them back in the camera itself fix the files itself, but nah, no such joy. I'll have another play with them and see what I can do, if there's anything I can do with them. But for the moment it looks like I've lost a couple of hours of footage anyway with the 360, which is a shame, because that couple of hours I've lost, as Sod's Law would have it, was on the 1081 up Nan, which is one of the best roads. I've got all the helmet cam stuff, so that's okay. I'll still be able to do something with it, but yeah, a bit annoying. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. So yeah, I'll start trawling through them and start putting them up. I've got a couple of Ducati videos still to do from my last time home that I've not gotten around to editing yet. That I have started on editing, but I've edited some of the 360 stuff from them, got that ready now. I just need to go through the helmet cam stuff and get that, and then, so I don't know what will go up first. Probably the Ducati, still probably this video, a couple of Ducati videos, the Hyper videos, just me out for a blast on the Hyper. and then into the 5-day trip. Because yeah, I've got a lot of footage, because I had like the 360 plugged into the bike most of the time and running, and I had my helmet cam plugged into the battery bank and running most of the time, so I've got a lot of stuff to troll through to make some videos out of. But I'll get there. It was a good trip. I didn't get out on the hyper at all this time home. Basically, just didn't have the time. It was there was a couple of long weekends. The kids were off school, long weekends, so spent that time with them, and then obviously the trip away on this with the wife. And yeah, before I know it, my 3 weeks home was is gone. So not to worry. So unfortunately, I'm doing the Christmas stint at work this time. Somebody's got it. I had it home before. I think I mentioned this maybe in one of my other videos that I'm still to edit, but I had the last one at home, and I think maybe even the one before that at home, I can't quite remember. So yeah, it's my turn this year to be at work for Christmas, New Year. I think it might be going offshore, I'm not too sure. I might be joining a ship and going offshore anyway, so we'll see what happens tomorrow once I arrive. So I fly, the usual fly this afternoon down to Bangkok, and then flight tonight, Bangkok, Istanbul. I'm flying via Istanbul this time. I usually fly Qatar Airways, but I don't know if it's because of the World Cup or maybe because of the World Cup that was when it was on when I left or whatever. I just couldn't get the dates that I wanted with Qatar. They were all fully booked. I can only think it's because of the World Cup. So flying Turkish Airways, so it's a bit of a longer flight times so I'm kind of going past Baku to Turkey and then back, whereas you know Qatar Airways, you go Baku, Qatar, which is like a 2.5 hour flight, and then it's like a 6.5, 7 hour flight from Qatar to Bangkok. But with Turkey you've got, it's like a 10-hour flight, 10.5 hours from Bangkok to Istanbul, and then back another 2.5 hours from Turkey back to Baku. I've got my main visor up, so I hope there's not too much wind noise. It's been cold. Yeah, not cold, but kind of cold. It was 15 degrees here this morning when I took the kids to school, which is cold for here. All the ties are all jacketed up, and still now it's probably, I think it's maybe low 20s now, 21, 22, which is still cold for most of them. I'm hearing this crackling in my speakers from the Cardo that I don't usually get. I'm wondering if that's because I'm connected to the 360. Just a little ticking every now and then. It's not annoying or anything, you barely just hear it. Alright, I'll start try ticking the visor down, because I want to know if this audio works good then. So visor down. I mean, it's going to be better audio all round anyway with the visor down. Where are you going, dude? No indication, no nothing. Just stopping. Ah, okay. Can't see because of that. Big truck turning around in front. Well, not a big truck, but a little dirt truck or whatever it is. Is it past this dude in a minute? Like, now? Also, I've got the pole in a slightly different position, the 360 pole in a slightly different position than I had on the, the non-trip, so excuse me, dry throat today. On the non-trip I had it just kind of straight up, so I pointed it out a little bit, and I've not got it fully extended because I've got it plugged into the bike. I need to get a longer USB lead to have it fully extended and plugged into the bike. I need a longer cable. I don't have one long enough, but I'll pick one up. So the non-trip was good. Kind of didn't do some of the roads we wanted to do because kind of realised a bit my fault more than anything. It was the long days on the bike, which, like I say, when I'm on the bike on my own I don't mind the long days, but it's a bit different when you've got when I've got the wife on the back. You know, it's not fair to be doing stupidly long days with her on the back. So we cut down day 3, we cut short a bit. Didn't do quite as many miles as day 3 and day 4. You know, we cut the loop that I wanted to do north, we cut it short a little bit and done a shorter loop, and then headed back down south on day 3. So we were a wee bit closer to home for day 4, because day 4, if we'd done the original, day 4 was going to be a long day. I think it was going to be like an 8 or 9 hour day on the bike itself. Like day 2 was like a 9, maybe even a 10 hour day on the bike, and day 4 was looking to be about the same. So we cut day 3 a little bit shorter, or a different loop, so that meant we could cut day 4 a bit shorter, and then day 5 the blast home. That was, you know, like I say, on my own it would have been fine, but yeah, it's not fair on the wife to be doing stupidly long days. Although she was saying that she wants to go further north next time. I was like, okay, well, to do that in a sort of decent time frame where I'm not, you know, obviously when I'm at home I want to spend time with my kids, so I don't particularly want to be buggering off for 10 days, 2 weeks of my 3 weeks at home, then only have a week with the kids. So to do it in maybe a smaller time frame, like a week or something, I says, well, there's going to have to be a couple of long days to get to the areas we want to see, or that she wants to see, you know. I'm not that fussed about seeing stuff, it's the roads I want to do, obviously, because there's some great roads, you know, as you'll see in the videos when I do them. When I do these videos you'll see them, some awesome roads, twisty roads. But then that's, I think, the bit on my part with day 2, although the actual miles, kilometres, I think that day 2 was like 460 kilometres, I'm not sure what that is in miles. Because the roads are so small and twisty, you know, I mean, your average speed's probably what, 60-70 kilometres an hour average speed, so, you know, it just it takes a bit of time, because there's not many, the roads I chose that day, there's not many roads that you can really get a lot of speed up, especially on a 2-up fully loaded GSA like this thing. She's a heavy beast on its own, never mind with 2 people on it and all the bags full. So we'll see. Well, that's for next trip when I come back, probably end of January, start of February. It should still be cool season, cool enough to go for a decent trip on the bike. I'll start planning that one while I'm away. So what else? Not a lot really. Well, I've already mentioned we've got a couple of videos on that out on the Hyper to put up. I've still got a couple of mod videos to do on that. I'll not go too much into them here, because I think I do mention it on the videos when I'm actually out on the Hyper. so you'll see them soon enough. And then the mods, the wee couple of mods I've still got to do, I'll have to wait till I get home again. But yeah, we've done nearly 2,000 kilometres in 5 days. Stopped at some really nice resorts. One normal Thai little resort, that was just night three, yeah. We just kind of picked an area and chose anything that was available, you know. There was no sort of plan, since we kind of changed our plans that day. Stunning bit of the country, Nan really is a stunning bit of Thailand. I've not really been up there on the bike, you know, and that's why I wanted to do it. I've been other places north but never really done Nan, so I know one thing's for sure, I will be back, because there's a lot more roads there, a lot more mountain roads up there. I mean, you could probably just spend a week in Nan, just going round all the places in Nan, and maybe just a little bit outside of Nan into the surrounding districts. But I definitely want to spend more time up there when I get a chance. Where are you going, dude? Okay. And I'm going to have to see about these tyre monitors. I was going to wait till I was getting new tyres, but they're starting to annoy me. It's like they're constantly on again. I don't know. I've got the app, the Moto Scan. I've got the OBD reader and everything for the bike. I got that this time home. I mentioned it last time about the service light coming on. After I just serviced it, the service light came on. So I got the Moto Scan app and the OBD reader and crossover cable and everything for it. Reset the service light. I was having a look. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather just switch it off. If I can just switch it off, the tyre pressure monitoring system, just switch it off, disable it somehow until I get new batteries, or change the sensors in the wheels, because I've always got the warning light on, and so, you know, I tend to ignore it because I know it's the tyre pressure monitor. But then if it's something else and I'm not paying attention, then it could do damage to the bike, you know, because the warning light will come on and I'll just a quick glance and just like, oh, it's that tyre pressure monitor again, when it might be something else. So yeah, I might need to do a bit of research and see if I can somehow disable that app altogether, you know, disable the tyre pressure monitoring thing altogether until such point as I'm ready to change tyres and change the sensors in the wheels, or the batteries in the sensors, one of the two. Because it's annoying, you know, you turn the bike on, oh, it's a bit, well, it's not, I know it's a good thing to have, but when the batteries go, you know, you turn the bike on, straight away you've got a warning light and it just stays there. And I check my tyres every morning, especially when I'm on the trip. When I was on the trip with the wife, that was, you know, the pre-bike checks I do, you know, I'm sure most of you with bikes do if you're on a long trip, you know. Just give the bike a once over every morning. And I've got a little battery operated pump, the Xiaomi one, I'm sure you have seen it, they're cheap enough, 20-30 quid. I've got one of them, and you know, as part of my morning checks on the bike before we set off, is I plug that in and just check the tyre pressures are right. So, you've seen it before, that was Town Eye at the roundabout, just leaving Town Eye. It's another, are you still going? Yeah. How long have you been going for? Oh, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, I'm surprised the battery's not dead yet. Unless it's might be one of my new batteries. I'm not sure which battery's in it, to be fair. I did buy 3 new batteries for the GoPros. They were not GoPro batteries, just Telesin, T-E-L-E-S-I-N, Telesin batteries. I've used their stuff before, and it's good enough, and they're probably less than half the price of an actual GoPro battery. And probably all made in the same bloody factory in China. So let's say 10 minutes or so and I'll be at the workshop. That route today to Taunoi is probably longer than this one. This clicking, I'm sure it's coming through my speakers. It's never done that before, but it's not annoying, but I think it maybe could get annoying on a long trip. Yeah, just turn the volume up and it's gotten louder, so yeah, that's definitely what it's from. Strong J. Or is it Cardo being a pain in the butt trying to connect to a radio or something again, probably, like it's been doing all. I just hope that clicking doesn't mean that all the audio on the 360 that I'm recording, that's going to be on the audio as well. You probably won't be able to hear it through the GoPro. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know what it is, it's weird. But to be saying that, I've been, everybody raves about the Cardos, I did as well. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's good, they're good on their own, but see, on that 5-day trip with the wife, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if I've got them set up wrong. We basically, they were useless. The wife could never hear me, I could never hear her. I've played with the settings, we're connected through the mesh, not Bluetooth. Checked everything was connected in my phone and all that, and the weird thing is I can hear my GPS and all that, because I have that connected through my phone, through I'll use a spare phone as a GPS. It works fine, I can hear it no problem. I can hear all the commands Cardo does when you switch it on and all that, but for some reason, I don't know if it's for microphone positioning or what it is, but for some reason the actual helmet to helmet comms between me and the wife, rubbish. And I think it must be a setup problem, that something I've done wrong, or because I've seen, you know, loads of people use them and rave about them, and I thought they were pretty good as well. You know, everybody, all the guys I watch on YouTube, Teapot One, Richie Vida, Missiden Flyer, Lamb Chops, they all use the Cardo, although I think most of them have moved used to the new Cardo. There's a new one came out, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a newer version, and I've got the Park Talk Bold set. I've actually got 3 of them, but that's another story. Yeah, but there's a newer version out that's got the new mesh system, but I'm not, until I get these ones working properly between comms between me and the wife, then I'm certainly not going to upgrade. And Senna's meant to be the other Senna's the other good one, isn't it? But the reason I kind of stayed away from Senna was they weren't waterproof, and I do ride in rainy season and quite often get caught in showers, so I went with a Cardo because it's waterproof. And to be fair, I've had my phone and everything on there. Actually I was using the small tablet. I tend just to use my phone now. I was using the small tablet on there, and I got caught in a massive downpour. The tablet got absolutely bloody soaking. Still works fine. Still works fine. And it's just a cheap, very cheap Acer tablet. It was less than 100 quid. It was like 60 quid or something like that. I bought purely just to use on the bike. It got drenched and it worked fine. It's alright when you're moving because it kind of keeps the rain off of it, but when you're stopped, when you stop at junctions or things like that, depending on the way the rain's coming, anyway, that's me nearly at the workshop. Next village is mother-in-law's village, where the workshop is. Well, not this one, but the one after. Park this thing up, wait on the wife, home, finish packing. Not that I have much to pack because I'm backing forward all the time. I don't do check-in luggage very often, just usually just hand luggage only. Only really check in stuff if I'm buying some new clothes or that to take back with me, or if I'm bringing stuff back from Baku, old stuff or that. I'll do checked in luggage, but it's few and far between. Keeps things simple. Check in online, get my boarding pass, straight into the airport, straight through security. No standing in queues to check in or drop off baggage. It's a leisurely blast. So this village coming up, they're not exactly the most exciting roads, this little loop, but passes some time. Gives me a quick blast. Hopefully that 360 is recording, as I can just see the screen just is red under the timer, so that means it's recording. So I can't really, usually the wee light flashes, but I can't really tell if that's flashing or not with the sun behind me like this. I think it's kind of behind me. There's my shadow. No, it must be kind of right above me. Right, here we go. So sign off time, folks. Like I say, stay tuned. Plenty of videos coming when I get the time to edit them. I don't like stopping on these bits of road. Get cars no noticing coming right up your arse. Anyway, so yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching as always. Be sure, give me a like and a thumbs up, and a sub would be nice. And I will see yous all on the next one. Take care, folks. Cheery, boys. Bye bye.